Hi, and welcome to ISM Class 6021, Summer 2019. Today, we are going to be discussing autonomous vehicles presented by Abigail, Ashley, Genevieve, Hunter, Nicholas, Taylor, and Reed. The growing trend between the cutting edge of Silicon Valley and the century-old automakers can go by many names, but one thing is for certain: the future of transportation as we know it will soon be changing. With the concepts learned in this class, such as Moore's Law, we see the advancement in this space rapidly progressing every year. Technology is an industry which can be disruptive, and this industry is no different. Companies are having to radically shift their strategy to align with what the future looks like. In our discussion of autonomous vehicles today, we will cover the history, relevant IT components, some of the players, pros and cons, and where autonomous vehicles can go from here in the future. To better understand the future of autonomous vehicles, we first have to take a look back. Starting in 1925, Francis Houdina was an inventor, and his demonstration of driving a radio-controlled car through the streets of Manhattan caused quite the stir as onlookers saw a car moving with no one at the wheel. In 1969, while no vehicle was built, McCarthy's essay laid the groundwork for researchers that would carry his work into the future. In 1995, Permelot and Jacom's minivan only required human input for accelerating and braking. Then, in 2002, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency challenged anyone that could build and develop an autonomous vehicle to navigate a 142-mile course in the Mojave Desert. They promised a $1 million prize, but unfortunately, all 15 competitors failed, with the most successful taking several hours to travel just 8 miles. This was a damaging setback for the autonomous vehicle industry. Then in 2003, the Prius was the first to launch the self-parking system in a production vehicle, while other major manufacturers followed soon after. There are plenty of IT components for autonomous vehicles, as one can imagine, but today we are going to focus on sensors, V2X technology, and processing technologies. Sensor technology is used to capture information relating to the surroundings and location of the vehicle. This is the eyes of the vehicle. Examples of this technology are cameras, GPS, IMU, and LiDAR. These complex vehicles use what's called sensor fusion, which combines multiple sensor types in order to get a more full picture. For example, LiDAR is able to capture some things better in low light conditions. V2X technology is made up of both vehicle-to-vehicle and vehicle-to-infrastructure technologies. It is like the mouth and ears of the vehicle. V2V allows vehicles to communicate with each other for things such as intentions, obstructions, or collisions. V2I lets the vehicle communicate with things such as traffic lights or railroad crossings. Processing technology is the brain of the vehicle. It takes the information from both the sensors and V2X technologies and processes it to identify different objects and classify them for analysis. For example, it could recognize that there is a speed bump ahead. It then has to process the information and determine which actions to take, such as applying the brakes preemptively. This process and decision making is very complex, and companies have been using AI and machine learning to develop models and algorithms that are able to handle the data and decision making on the fly. Beyond trendy names like Tesla and Alphabet, a host of auto brands and other tech heavyweights are also investing in autonomous research and development. As of 2018, there were 46 corporations working on autonomous vehicles, with some of those being private companies partnering with car manufacturers. Some examples of this include Amazon experimenting with autonomous package delivery. Over the last decade, Amazon has spent billions of dollars working on solving the last mile problem in their delivery system. It's built its own fleet of cargo jets, explored delivery by drone, and more. In 2016, Amazon was granted a patent for a system that helps autonomous cars navigate roadways and pick which lane to use depending on current traffic estimates. This is important to Amazon when it comes to optimizing and lowering delivery costs. At CES in 2018, the company finally announced that it would be getting involved in autonomous vehicles through a partnership with Toyota. The vehicle, known as the e-Pallet, was designed as a multi-function autonomous minivan to move goods, people, or even a mobile office. They plan to debut the e-Palette at the 2020 Summer Olympic Games in Tokyo. Another example is Volvo's Zenuity. Volvo sought to build a reputation for safety in the self-driving industry by naming their project IntelliSafe, setting a zero fatality goal for when it fully rolls out the autonomous features to the public. They hope to have this self-driving technology delivered by 2021. Automakers, tech giants, and hungry startups are pursuing the autonomous vehicle industry, eager to rebrand and rebuild themselves as the mobility provider of the future. In December of 2018, Waymo, the company that had emerged from Google's self-driving car project, officially started its commercial self-driving car service in the suburbs of Phoenix. It's only available to a few hundred vetted riders, and a human safety operator will remain behind the wheel for now. This may seem underwhelming, but does hold some significance. People are now paying for robot rides. This 21st century gold rush is motivated by the intertwined forces of opportunity and survival. By one account, driverless tech will add about $7 trillion to the global economy and save hundreds of thousands of lives in the next few decades. Simultaneously, it could also devastate the auto industry and its associated gas stations, drive-thrus, taxi drivers, and truckers. Some people will prosper, most will benefit, many will be left behind. Relevant costs. Driverless cars will take human motorists out of the equation. With autonomous vehicles offering low-cost, convenient transportation, fewer people will want to pay the price associated with owning and maintaining their own vehicle. Another relevant cost are businesses will come to us. Rather than having customers come to store locations for pickup, businesses may start taking their goods and services directly to consumers. Driverless cars could also hurt other industries, such as the insurance industry with a drop in claims, fast food, where a drive-thru may not be as convenient, healthcare as a result of decreased collision, and litigation decrease the demand for private practice lawyers and force the car companies to expand their corporate legal department. Overall, the cost of having autonomous drivers is that it leads to unemployment of skilled workers. There are many benefits of autonomous vehicles, such as safer transportation. In the US, more than 30,000 people die of traffic-related deaths every year. In fact, if 90% of cars on the road were autonomous, the number of accidents would fall from 6 million to 1.3 million a year. Autonomous vehicles can also reduce traffic congestion and travel time. Americans spend more than 6.9 billion hours a year sitting alone in traffic. Autonomous vehicles can cut that traffic time by up to 40% and reduce congestion by almost 25%. Autonomous vehicles can also improve fuel economy by 4 to 10% by accelerating and decelerating smoother than human drivers. Lastly, wait times for ride sharing will decrease from about 5 to 10 minutes to 36 seconds and also become more cost effective. Technology isn't 100% safe and reliable. Driving is unpredictable, and because every possibility must be programmed into an autonomous vehicle, accidents and unforeseen results are inevitably going to happen. Inclement weather, including rain or snow, could also interfere with the car's sensory technology. Autonomous vehicles can be hacked like any other computing device. Hackers can gain access to personal information which can then be sold and used against the owner, presenting a need for cybersecurity. Also, increased exposure to electromagnetic radiation leads to higher rate of health problems, like being more susceptible to infections, increased headaches and migraines, and exhaustion. Autonomous driving is going to inevitably dominate the automotive industry, and it's only a matter of finding out who will succeed first. The path to a fully automated vehicle is a top focus for major players in the automotive and tech world. However, there are several factors that still need to be considered, such as government laws and regulations, public safety, and how comfortable people are going to be riding in a driverless car. Despite all these factors, the industry is moving rapidly as top companies continue to invest billions of dollars in research and development. Today, we are going to take a closer look at Tesla, BMW, Volvo, and Citroen's plans for the future. Tesla has become a household name in the automotive industry in the past decade. Looking forward, Elon Musk claims that Tesla will deploy 1 million robotaxis in 2020. This will be a fully automated vehicle which does not require a steering wheel or pedals. The company also unveiled a new microchip that will allow for full self-driving capabilities. Next, BMW believes it could have a Level 5 self-driving car by 2021. A Level 5 is one that is capable of total and complete autonomy. The BMW Vision iNext is fully electric, fully connected, and offers highly autonomous driving. It is said that it will have two modes, Boost and Ease. In Boost mode, the steering wheel and displays are positioned clearly towards the driver. When Ease mode is engaged, the driver's immediate environment changes. The steering wheel will retract, creating a more open space. Volvo envisions a future where motorists travel in private business-like pods instead of flying. The 360C concept will be autonomous and electric. It's designed to be software-driven 100% of the time. The 360C will be designed to emit visual and audible signals to tell other drivers and pedestrians what it's about to do. For example, I'm about to turn left. The Volvo 360C concepts presents 4 potential uses: a sleeping environment, mobile office, living room, and entertainment space, representing an attractive travel option that could rival air, bus, and train providers, but with competitive advantages in comfort, convenience, and privacy. The Omni One concept is a tiny 2-person neighborhood electric vehicle that is designed specifically for people as young as 16 years old. Citroën stated that the Omni One is designed as an alternative to public transport such as bus or metro. The concept also includes a car sharing or rental agreement. According to Citroën, customers can access Omni One concept for a minimum of 5 minutes and adjust their usage at any time to several hours with no commitment and is all-inclusive. The options can be customized to each person's mobility requirements and address the need for 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 days, 5 months, or even a 5-year lease. A smartphone is vital to the Omni One concept interface. According to Citroën, the doors lock and unlock via a QR code on the aluminum base of the door handles. Once inside, there will be a dedicated area where the driver can place their phone, which also acts as a wireless charging area. Depending on the app used, projected on the reflection panel in the driver's field of vision will be a heads-up display system. Advanced functions such as navigation may be used in addition to regulation-required driving instruments. The interface on the Omni One concept was designed as a personal assistant for optimized interaction with the driver. The interface is controlled using 2 buttons mounted on the steering wheel, a voice command to call the assistant, and a drop-down menu for browsing apps. Lastly, we want to discuss this technology being developed in the EU, which is truck platooning. Truck platooning is the linking of 2 or more trucks in a convoy using connectivity technology and automated driving support systems. The vehicles maintain a set but close distance. The truck at the head of the platoon serves as the leader, and it will require little to no action from the vehicle behind it. The driver of each truck will remain in control at all times should they decide to leave the platoon and drive independently. Platooning can reduce CO2 emissions by up to 16% from the trailing vehicles and up to 8% from the lead vehicle. Now that we have discussed the history and timeline of development, relevant IT components, successful companies in the industry, relevant costs, benefits, and risks, and future trends, we hope that you have a better understanding of the autonomous vehicle industry and are excited about the changes ahead. Thank you, and have a great rest of the semester.